BambuLab spools are kinda weird in that nothing is weird about them. Which is weird, right? Let me explain. Despite all the fancy technology used in the BambuLab ecosystem, their spools are literally just pieces of plastic. The RFID tag is attached to the roll of filament itself, and even the material sticker is something that comes with the refills. So, the weird thing is that when you buy a spool, you are literally just buying a piece of plastic. When if you are someone who is shopping at BambuLab.com, presumably you already have a machine solely dedicated to making just pieces of plastic. So why not just print your own? And while you're at it, why not print a better one? Well, I set out to find a way to do just that. First, I came up with an admittedly flawed system in which you'd buy a refill, put it on a regular BambuLab spool, print out a new spool, and then use a separate 3D print to swap out the spool you just printed for the BambuLab one. And it was just kind of a pain in the butt. So that brings me to my current solution, the inlay spool. This is a lot simpler than my last idea. You just get some ABS, doesn't matter where from, but I'm getting mine from BambuLab, and print out both halves of the spool. Then spool up whatever filament you want to spool up on it, and if you so wish, use that filament to print out the rings and inlay them into the ridges. I will note though, due to different thermal expansion of different materials, I think if you print out the rings in PLA, they might not want to fit into the ridges properly. So what I did was basically glue them in and tamp them down like this so they would behave. Anyway, there's even a space to stick the material sticker on, and if you really want to go the extra mile, you can cut out the color from the box and glue it onto this spot here. And that's it! But the more important question here is, should you actually do this? Well, let's talk about cost. Now, I live in Japan, so I bought things with Japanese yen, but I imagine the calculations would be something similar for other currencies as well. Let's begin. It's 3,400 yen for the roll with the spool attached, minus 2,800 yen for the roll without, which means that it's 600 yen just for the spool. The ABS roll I printed out weighs 102 grams, which means it's 10.2% of the 1,000 gram roll of ABS filament. Now, I paid 2,800 for that roll, so 10.2% of that is equal to about 286 yen, which means I saved, let's see, 600 yen for the BambuLab spool, 286 yen for my spool, a total of 340 yen in savings. Or, let's see, 314 yen savings divided by a 600 yen spool equals 52.3% cheaper from doing it this way than buying the roll from BambuLab. Pretty good! Of course, this will vary depending on how much you paid for your ABS, and if you print the rings out of very expensive filament, I guess that might contribute to the cost as well. But overall, given that I got over 50% off by doing it this way, I'd imagine you'd save at least a bit as well. Granted, it's also got the benefit of being able to see what filament it is from any angle, and it's actually got the name of the color printed on it. However, as with everything, there are some cons to take into consideration. For one, it takes time that your printer could be using to print other things. If you're someone who sells a lot of stuff that you print, it might not be worth the money that you save to stop printing something that you can sell and start printing something that you can't. It's also less reliable than the official ones, presumably. There's always a chance that the print could fail, and I'm not sure how it stacks up durability-wise to the official ones. Printing it is also stinky, because, you know, that's how printing with ABS goes. Feel free to print it with PETG if you want, though. I'm not your dad. But overall, that's the long and short of it. I hope you enjoy my little model, and as always, you can find the links to the free downloads in the description below. See you next time. Bye.